Yeah, he reached out to us and he wanted us to go on tour with him. And so that's when we had flown back to LA because we were living in Georgia for a while.
Yeah, our Uncle Bob was
so
warm, just like he basically just like, you know, kind of put his arms around us and just
Well, thank you all for being here. My name's Adam, and this is about the three of you and your journey in music.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
This is definitely a beautiful thing, you know, the process, releasing our record. You know, we went through so many different journeys to get to where we are now as far as releasing ourselves independently, you know, so yeah.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to hear it. I'm just, I guess, first off, you're all sisters, like blood sisters, correct?
Same mother, same father.
Yeah.
And who's the oldest through the youngest?
Oldest? Middle?
Youngest. Yes.
Okay. And what's the age difference, if you don't mind me asking?
Well,
2 years apart. 3 years apart.
there's some
Okay.
boys. There's 7 of us.
Yeah.
So there's
Oh, wow. Okay. So it doesn't go oldest, or is that just the order here?
oh, that's the order here, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a boy in between each one of us.
Ah, okay.
A girl that's under her, which is the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 girls, 2 boys. Yeah.
Wow. That's a big household.
No, they really loved each other. They were the best of friends.
That is amazing. Where'd you all grow up? What part of?
Oh my God,
Where didn't we grow up?
on the road with them, you know, they had a singing group themselves.
Womack
duo,
Womack.
Womack and Womack,
Mhm.
songwriters and producers for other artists, and they took us on the road with them like everywhere. Some of us were born on tour, and we really did the majority of their shows with them. They went through a little phase of trying to leave us home because they had a home. We had a home in Virginia,
Mhm.
and home where they would tour. And that was probably their first album. But then my dad kind of felt, you know, that he was missing a lot of our upbringing. So he wanted to take us everywhere with him after that period. So pretty much every album,
we were somewhere else.
Yeah.
She was born in Nassau.
She was born in the Bahamas.
I was born in LA, but shortly I was in London afterwards.
I was born in Virginia, and you know, our parents were moving New York and London and Amsterdam. So it was
That's so cool.
consistent moving.
Yeah.
Wow. What was that like growing up on the road like that?
Oh my God, it was crazy. I mean, thank God there were so many of us because we were
We
each
became
other's
each other.
friends, you know.
Yeah.
But it would have been lonely other than that because we didn't get a chance to meet like other kids, you know,
Homeschool.
things like that.
We moved like every year.
Yeah.
So having our built-in friends definitely made it
We
better.
were the best of friends just because of it, you know, because our parents were like in another city like every other month or every other day. And depending on whatever where the business was, I guess, we would
We
move.
moved there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we lived in Paris, we lived in
Amsterdam.
Switzerland, Germany.
South of France.
We lived in Thailand for a little while.
Our parents had great success in Europe, so
They
we left the
stayed over there.
States pretty young, and we stayed with them in Europe and then Asia because our dad just grew very fond of it through a couple shows that they had out there, and he wanted to stay. So we ended up having 2 homes out there, which was one was in Phuket and one was in Bangkok. And we majority, I think, of our upbringing, probably 13 years.
Yeah.
Back and
Mm.
forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I love that your parents took you on the road with them. I think that's so awesome. Like to, you know, kind of keep the family together and tour around the world, and everyone gets kind of, you know, soak up what your family had worked for.
Yeah, it meant a lot to us because we wouldn't have seen them, you know. Their
Mother
career-
and father in a group together.
Yeah,
That would've been
yeah,
crazy.
They toured a lot. So
Mhm.
I was staying with them.
They were gypsies. They loved it. They loved it. You know, it wasn't a job to them. So
Sure.
we would have never seen them if they didn't take us with them. So,
But
we're
I
great.
mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, and then your grandfather, obviously, massive legend, and even your uncle is also a songwriter.
Our grandfather, Sam Cooke, the legend.
Yeah, the
Also-
legendary Sam Cooke. We have to add that piece.
Such an inspiration.
Yeah. And our uncles, Bobby Womack,
We toured with him on his last album, and that was definitely a learning experience for us.
Yeah.
He taught us a lot.
And I don't know if we got to say our parents' group name.
Yeah.
So let me check.
Right.
They
We
dominated.
toured with him as well. They actually,
we were their
that was our first
roadies,
experience.
backup singers.
Backup
Yeah.
singing,
You did
and
every job you can do on it.
we opened for them once we had formed our group and kind of
Yeah.
started rehearsing together as a group.
Yeah.
And that was definitely all of the teaching that went into us.
Mhm.
Becoming
I'm curious to know if your other sister and your brothers are musical or not, or are they just not interested in it?
we all are musical, Our dad was always, throwing harmonies at us in the kitchen when we're cooking and stuff. And I think all of us have a love for music. And our brother actually has some music that he's going to be releasing soon.
Yeah.
He sings and raps, and such good music, such an international sound. And I'm really looking forward to him releasing his project.
Yeah.
And our sister, she's recently become a mother, so that's her main focus in her life right now. Has always been a great songwriter and a great vocalist, and she's definitely has that love for music as well.
That's so cool. So cool. And obviously you just said you were like roadieing for your parents and singing backups. And when did it all kind of were you able to watch them were you able to watch them write songs growing up? Like, tell me about the process of like what you were like seeing and how that then you utilize that now.
Part of our everyday surrounding, our father would
The
be
studio.
in the living room of where we were living, and just kind of going over his ideas in front of us. And he would probably even have us do some of the harmonies to kind of help him mold the song. So we've seen it from the ground up as far as his process, and even when we're traveling, our dad always kept his tape recorder. He would jot down his ideas or use his tape recorder to sound something out, and we just seen it develop bit by bit, and that's how we created our songs. Now it's a lot of it's experience, and then you have those moments in your life where you might be out and you might be inspired by something you see, and that becomes a part of your song. So it's beautiful how it all unfolds, and it was a similar process for us.
Watching it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so fascinating to me. I think that's so awesome to be able to be around that. Because I've interviewed people that they come from, if their family or member of their family was a musician or big musician at some point, and you'll either hear we loved it, we're blah, soaking up every second, and then they may have a sibling that's just not into it whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people do have those stories, and we have friends of ours that have families that have a similar background, and some of them, went in another direction as far as what they wanted to do, and that would be a distraction if your parents had you just surrounded with music all the time. But because
Fortunately,
for us,
we actually enjoyed it.
We actually had that same passion for music, and so it wasn't a hindrance on us,
Sure. Yeah, it's amazing that you all have that passion, right? I mean, if you didn't, then you wouldn't be in this group and we wouldn't be talking, but
even that, because some people have to reach out and kind of put together a group to kind of fit their aura, but we all have the same love for music, the same era that we all kind of have that similar love for music as far as the sound, in the sound in which we write and create, and we were talking about that the other day, admiring the 60s and the 50s sound, and just that full-on big band, that's what we really appreciate, and it comes out in our writing.
Were you all writing independently and then kind of came together and decided to start this group? How did the group form? What was the consensus there?
Actually gave us our group name when we were singing backup for them, and we started off as Egyptian Queen when we were opening, and that was early on when we first started opening for them in their shows. That was early 2002, and so.
And you guys were writing. You had original material that you'd go out and perform before their set.
Yeah, we actually were able to do our opening of their set. Like we opened probably about 5 of their shows when we first became the group. And then the rest of the time we were singing backup. And then we started molding our sound even more so. And once we did, we moved to Los Angeles. And that's when we recorded like several other projects with different producers. And we molded. And at that point we decided, okay, our name should really match our sound, and our sound is this soulful, gritty, but new age, futuristic version of the best girl groups, you know? We kind of mashed it all up in the blender and came up with our sound, and it's funky, and it's definitely powerful. And I want us to portray that, you know, the great things about girl groups is that power and that sexiness and just the colorful aspects of being a woman, you know? Yeah. And that's what our music displays.
Was it always a group? Like the three of you guys were always a group, or did you have aspirations to be solo artists at one point and this just made more sense?
When we first came together, our dad had us as Egyptian Queen. There was 4 members of the group at the time because he was kind of filling things out. Actually, no, there was 3 members of the group.
The 3 of you?
I wasn't in the
but
group.
She was
our
the
last
sister,
edition, right?
Yeah, I was.
Our older sister, she
She was
was
a
Jackson.
baby. Yeah, she was a baby when we actually started. But our other sister was in the group, the one that's a mother now. And so when we were in the
moved
process,
to Los Angeles.
that was probably 2019.
Yeah. She was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna fall back into
She got married.
Yeah,
She got
and
married.
writing was her passion. So Kutcha was already groomed up into the group. So we ended up being a third. It ended up being 3 again. But yeah, there was always
2000. That was 2012.
Yeah, I was always.
No, it was
in the group.
2009.
Lonnie was always in the group.
Yeah.
And we thought our younger sister was gonna groom up like Kutcha did and want to be in the group. But she's like, no, I want
She
to
wants to be a solo artist. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then she got married and she's a mom, so she's just a songwriter now, and mom first and foremost.
She didn't have the appreciation for the traveling
and
always being, you know, on the road and stuff. So she wanted to settle herself down, and we respect her for that, because being a mother and starting a family, that's a beautiful journey, and it so well, you know. So
and a time-consuming journey. I have 2 kids of my own. I get it.
Yeah, and it's a blessing too, because it's hard, you know.
Our mother did it, you know.
Yeah.
She didn't stop one day, you know, and now I understand it was a real big deal.
When your partner and you do the same thing, it's easy, because our dad and mom had each other to travel with and to take care of the babies and stuff. So it's different when you have a partner who's like, you know, working a regular job or a job where they're confined to one city. And so that's the thing with starting your family. Different. Yeah, it's different. And so respect her for that. And she's still a part of our creative process. She always comes to the studio and sees what, you know, helps us with our backgrounds and whatever we are having little moments with. So we still get that from her. And as far as the 3 of us, it was meant to be, because we're so alike in certain ways as far as how we create and you know, how we layer songs, you know. It was meant for us to work together, because I think out of all the siblings, you know, we lock the most.
Okay. Well, just to, I mean, I want to give your mom a lot of credit here, because you said they both did the same job, so it was easier for them to be around, you know, and help the kids. But you have what, 7? There's 7 of you, or 5 of you?
Had delivered us too. So
I mean, I have 2 kids, and I'm like I can't imagine having 5 more.
Yeah. You know,
our mother did a television
they made it look
show
easy
2 days after I was born and revealed me there. And I'm like, how did you get the energy to get out of bed?
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, she was pregnant for each like album cover.
And we were each
Really?
Album release.
She had like a new baby every album.
That's nuts. So you could look at the record and be like, oh, okay, so-and-so is in there.
That's crazy though.
I do respect her though, because
it takes a lot.
it does.
It's a lot on a woman's body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Not only that, but then to have such a successful career, and then being on the road all the time, and then raising a handful of kids, and it's just like that to me is wow.
It's a lot. It takes a lot, but we see a lot more women doing it now. You know,
Sure.
my mom was the only one at the time that I saw doing something like that, and then
Mhm.
carrying with them like on television, on radio.
They
shows.
demanded that we like stuck with them, even if it was like a problem with the organization.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. I love that. She just, no, if you want us to be here and do this, my kids are coming. Sorry.
Yeah.
They changed a lot of the ways for them, you know, as far as the
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
That's so cool. So cool. And so you guys moved to LA. In what year do you start
Oh
kind
yeah.
of putting this together? Or I guess you said there was the earlier version did that start in LA?
Moved to LA.
No, you mean when did we start putting this together? Like really do
Yeah. Was that in LA when you had already lived there?
I would say 2000, to be honest with you, 2014, because
Okay.
it was a rocky time for us. Our dad used to manage us, but he fell ill in 2012.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
sorry.
Took a
that,
break,
yeah.
and
just
he
kinda-
passed in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Our uncle kind of came and rescued us from this. What are we gonna do?
Well,
Sure.
Not wanting
Yeah.
to do anything, you know.
Yeah.
It's that dark cloud that I'm sure anyone who's lost a parent gets in.
Yeah.
And you just don't really want, you're not inspired, you know. You don't want to just move forward. You're gonna want to sit still for a moment.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
savor just living.
Mhm.
And did that
Yeah.
for a year, and then our uncle came and found us.
Yeah, he reached out to us and he wanted us to go on tour with him. And so that's when we had flown back to LA because we were living in Georgia for a while.
Yeah, our Uncle Bob was
Yeah.
so warm, just like he basically just like, you know, kind of put his arms around us and just
Yeah.
very much so supported us at that
It's
time.
like another
Father.
father.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said father.
Yeah,
and we lived with him and traveled, and
It was a
he
great
was producing
experience.
our album, took over as manager for the group,
Yeah.
and it was really beautiful. And he, you know, fell ill eventually, and our
He
project,
was going through a
we
lot.
put that on hold again
Yeah.
because it just was it was a very painful time.
Yeah.
Mhm. Was it hard? I mean, of course it was hard, but was it just the phone call from your uncle that kind of lit the fire under you again to want to continue to do this and perform?
Yeah, it got us back into the musical mode because we, you know, after seeing our dad one moment, because he had flown out to see us and
Yeah, he was
came
with
to
us.
LA, you know, the same year that he passed. And when he passed, he was out of the country. He wasn't with us. So
Mhm.
it's one of those moments where you want to sit and enjoy the time you have with the people you love because you don't know when that last moment is. And it just shakes you up. It
Mhm.
shakes the way you view your time
Yeah.
when that happens. Especially when it's not expected, you know, because he was in a good enough state to where we wouldn't have seen that progress that soon. So.
I thought is there a trash truck backing up? Just kidding.
Oh, it's an alarm.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. The beauty of Zoom.
Okay, yeah, we have to tell, yeah, they're a little bit too excited.
No, it's all good. I just heard the beep. I didn't know if no, it's
Yeah.
all good. We'll cut this out. No worries.
Sorry.
No need to be sorry. No need to be sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, where were we?
That was so your uncle starts helping you guys. You're writing. You tour with him, and then he gets sick. Is that what you said? And what happens from there?
You know, it was almost like it was like a whole replay of what was happening.
Emotions.
Only it was more, it was, I don't want to say just more of a shock. It's just like, you can't believe it. That an angel came and swooped in
And gave you
comforted
this
you,
fire in you,
you know,
and then the
lit a fire.
same damper of disappointment and
Yeah.
loss and just that confusion as to what does this mean? Is this like a sign? You know, are we headed in the right direction?
Yeah.
But after a little time went by, we got back in the studio. we worked on a song that actually was originally cut by
The Womack Brothers.
yeah, the Womack Brothers, which is our father and our uncle's group. When they were coming up, they actually had great success under our grandfather's label, which was Star Records. And the Rolling Stones actually recut their song "Looking for Love," which was
so crazy.
Their biggest hit in the United States. And that was where we got our inspiration from, as far as kicking off with our sound.
Yeah.
And our we flipped the song, which is entitled "Darling," and that inspired us so much. Their group and
it's also to carry on the torch for them.
Yeah, to carry on the torch.
They didn't go as far as we thought they should.
Yeah, there was a death in the family.
Our grandfather died. Right?
Well, our uncle.
You talking about what stopped?
Yeah, it really tore up the brothers.
But before that, our grandfather was killed, and they were on his label, and the same kind of distraught that we were going through.
Yeah, that happened to them.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, like one of our uncles decided to focus on his family, and their group dissolved, and different things happened. But for whatever reason, they followed their path, and it was a trigger for us to kind of look at that, like, okay, this is our calling to carry this music, carry the torch, and
for the Womack Brothers,
and make that sound relevant in today's music, and we're proud to do that.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And you have a couple records out now?
Yes.
When did you start writing those? Where does the pandemic fall? Because Darling came out in 2017, so that was a record, and then a few years passed by, pandemic hits. You said, obviously stuff happens within the family, and then when do you start working on Blocked?
Well, Blocked. Oh yes, I'm sorry. The puppies are distracting me.
I'm so annoyed with them right now. They're just being the baddest,
It's like she just made it worse by going over there. Okay.
All good.
Yes, Blocked is our latest single. Came out in that was like last year, November. Yeah. And the video and everything, we were so inspired to put everything together. We went to we filmed it in Joshua Tree. Basically, what it's about is well, for me personally, it was a romantic. Molly. Okay. Anyway, for me personally, it's a romantic experience. That
wild wolves.
That
Pomeranian
became disrespectful, through sometimes through dealing with people, especially if I'm in this new age we're in, we kind of take the devices and the phones and stuff we use for people for granted. Like, you might start kind of like, ghosting, or someone might ghost you, or, take a long time to reply to you, just certain little things to be disrespectful. And I think especially if that happens multiple times over and over again, at that point, like you're being played with. So it's just about shutting that down. And, those boundaries up. Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Of course, anyone could be blocked. You can block a coworker. Or,
it could be a family member. I think it's just about creating that boundary. That you feel comfortable, you feel respectable. And because people sometimes take advantage of the fact that
they can reach you
when they want to. Yeah, technology definitely makes people a little bit too, overzealous.
Right? Isn't it bizarre? Like, if you think 15 years ago, that when you left work, like, you wouldn't have to worry about somebody bothering you about work for the next, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. Now it's like any moment of any time, somebody's like, can reach out to you. And if you don't respond within half hour, it's like, I know you have your phone. Like, what are you doing?
So entitled. Crazy.
It's crazy. It's so crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
They own your free time.
Yeah.
So,
with relationships, you just want to be considered, you want that if you're courting somebody or you're with someone, you want to make sure that you're engaging in some form of conversation with them. It shouldn't be like a 6 months period of time go by.
Of course.
Then you hit them up all of a sudden, you know.
And you're like, hey, where you been?
Those are the type of people you might find yourself blocking, you know, somebody who's just kind of looking at you as a pastime,
very
you know,
disrespectful.
never even, yeah, there's no regular communication, you know. So
Sure.
there's a lot of reasons to block someone. I think this song definitely just gives you that self dignity.
Mhm.
I think she's in your frame.
I'm not in the frame.
A little bit. She's sticking
You
out.
are.
You don't need my back in there.
You're good.
So what do you all been working on recently? I mean, Block you said came out last year, and then do you have more records coming out soon?
Yes.
Yeah, we're putting on
We did another music video. We have the EP coming out. We're really doing the promo for that. We're trying to get a lot of shows because it's all about the touring and the shows that really connect with the people and make sure they're feeling the music and liking what we're doing. And that's the best thing for us to be doing right now. So yeah, we're trying to get with promoters and consistently be
and working on
performing.
the album.
Yeah.
You know.
And we're always working on new
EPs.
music, you know, because you can never record enough.
Yeah, we have EPs coming out, but the actual album, we're still crafting it. It's
We have a lot of
it's
music.
done, but we have a lot of music. We're like,
Yeah,
how
we're
does this
like,
all
let's
fit
just keep
together?
recording.
Right? We can
We
either
want it to be cohesive.
Okay, I like that. I like that. And you said you're working on putting together live shows as well?
Yeah. We
working
wanna,
with the band.
yeah, we have our two guys that we actually, you know, we're so happy for them. They have great success going on right now, but they're touring. So we're putting together another group of people that we're gonna be touring with.
Yeah.
And
We are performing though this in
in Oakland,
on April 7th.
all female band. It's gonna be amazing.
Amazing.
Lovely musicians. out
Yeah, this is the
there.
first time performing with them, so this is gonna be exciting. And Yoshi's is definitely a great spot. We've heard so much about it. It's been around for years, and it's an
Oh,
honor.
you're playing Yoshi's in Oakland?
Yeah, it's gonna be-
Okay, I know that spot.
Yeah,
It's an honor.
So yeah, so looking forward to it.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a jam session, you know. We just want to have that chill moment, you know, and really connect with the audience. And it's gonna be a nice set. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
having us.
Thank you
This
for
is
having
all
us.
part of the blessing.
Of course. I do have one quick question. I want to know if I can get an answer from all of you individually, if that's cool. If you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Okay. I didn't go that high.
I'll go first.
Yes. We'll go Old Sunday.
Yes. It looks like everyone has this funding behind them, right? But what it really takes to start any business, and that's exactly what this is for you to put your own skin in the game. You've got to fund yourself.
Yeah.
Make your own music videos, make your own album. If you can educate yourself on how to record and master it, then that's all better. But
Yeah.
you're going to be doing a lot of this yourself, so don't think that you're alone. Everyone has.
Yeah, there really is nobody that's gonna believe in you like you're gonna believe in
Yes,
yourself.
and then other people come in and they might assist you, but it will always be you at the
And it'll
center.
change you if anything, because there's always an opinion with it, with that help and that. the
Yeah,
different
so
person.
stay at the forefront of your funding, fund yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You
stay consistent.
get where
I
you
think-
need to go a lot faster. You
I
put the fuel behind yourself.
Oh yeah, no, I'm.
We're good.
You
We're
guys
not-
are
we're not-
kind of-
we're not-
You guys gotta find it colliding. So she feels the same way I do, so her answer's probably gonna be similar. But he wants
No,
to
she's
everybody
colliding.
to-
Y'all are
It's so obvious that you're all sisters. I love this. This is so good.
I feel like their answers were coming together. So
Yeah,
it's
so her-
And she said it all.
Well, then Chris is
She
getting
said it all.
She said it
Yeah.
all.
So that was my opinion.
I think personally, when you are an up-and-coming artist, even if you have no experience, I think if you can figure out one thing that works for you and just stay consistent. Like, consistency is key. I feel
Oh
like
my God.
figuring out something that's good, you're good at, and you do really well, and just get better and better, but stay consistent with, you know, your message to the people and, you know, whatever your, you know, your thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing it back word.